What up, YouTube? It's your boy King Cobra. We're back at it with another video. Got an epic stuffed crust, create your own pizza, 14 inches of delicious pizza goodness. The toppings, we have a white Alfredo sauce with extra cheese, 3 cheese blend, bacon, jalapenos, onions, salami on their regular crust. At least I think, oh yes, I also added spinach. Can't forget. So we got spinach, bacon, onions, jalapenos, 3 cheese blend, extra cheese, creamy Alfredo sauce. And of course we got our jalapenos on here, like I said, and from Papa John's. We're going to bust on those sauces. Alright, this is a 14-inch stuffed crust, create your own pizza. Before we add the sauces, let's show the logo, not a sponsor. I appreciate DoorDash delivering in this shit weather, dude. That's why I fucking tipped extra, man, because I got the money and I know this gotta be a struggle, man. Oh yes, we also put anchovies on it. Okay, so we got anchovies, bacon, jalapenos, onions, salami, all the good stuff. Oh yeah, because I see the anchovies on there right now. I like Pizza Hut, but y'all don't got the anchovies anymore. So what do you do? Y'all gave me a garlic cup to go with it. Set that to the side. Now for our sauces, we have 2 spicy garlic cups. 2 buffalo, and 2 cheese cups. 14-inch create your own stuffed crust pizza, jalapenos, bacon, onion, anchovies, spinach, salami, stuffed crust, extra cheese, 3 cheese blend, Alfredo sauce. That's pretty much what I put on it. Now the garlic cup we're going to save for the sides, but we're going to smear this jalapeno goodness with the anchovies. So we're going to take all these sauce cups and like a boss, we're going to smear them all over this pizza. Beautiful. We need a receptacle for our empty cups of sauce. Here's our second cup of spicy garlic butter sauce. Now we're going to dump all the sauces I ordered with the pizza onto the top of it. Papa John's, not a sponsor. Took a little bit longer than usual. But it is what it is. Look at that pizza, YouTube, that 14-inch stuffed crust goodness. Now we're going to add our buffalo sauce, spicy garlic, and the delicious, ever so unnutritious garlic butter spicy edition with that buffalo sauce, man. Slap on that buffalo sauce. Whew, that buffalo sauce got a little kick to it, man. Look out. So yes, I'm food hacking a Papa John's pizza for the New Year's. Oh, look at that deliciousness. Get on there. Grab the finger and kind of scoop it out a little bit. You know that struggle, YouTube. Look at that pizza, man. We're not done adding the sauce to it. Keep in mind, it's already got a 3-cheese blend, plus extra cheese, plus the bacon, the onions, the jalapenos, the anchovies, and the salami. What you know about them Papa John's, man? So we're going to just cover this pizza and the sauces that we ordered. Oh, get on there. Get the fuck on there. Oh, that's the cheese sauce. That cheese sauce is slapping on another level. Yo, this pizza's already got so much goddamn cheese on it, this just feels like overkill. But that's why you watch Cobra's videos, man. You like watching me do these crazy ass food hacks. Like I said, the pizza has a delicious garlic Alfredo sauce as the base. So we're just going to take this sauce cup, scoop it out, and boss it up all over our pizza, because that's what's up. Food hacking and snacking. Oh, no, you don't. Okay, mind your business, YouTube. I dropped the sauce cup and all that saucy goodness by accident. Now, the jalapenos are going to make it, oh, yes, nice and spicy. With that buffalo sauce. That buffalo sauce. Gonna pop it off. Look at all that saucy pizza goodness. And just to stay true to the food hack, we're going to take the regular garlic butter sauce that came with the pizza. Get open. You motherfucker. Get open. I want to plop a little on each piece just to keep it original to the food hack. Because don't forget, when you order Papa John's, they already give you a free cup of sauce. And it's usually the garlic butter. Man, this fucking pizza's dripping with toppings and cheese. and flavorly goodness. Yes, please. Now, there are some individuals who do not fuck with anchovies on their pizza. That's all right. Your boy Cobra loves anchovies and bacon on his pizza. Mm. Ooh, that garlicky goodness. Yo, the sauces that you're rocking with at Papa John's. Oh, talk to your boy. Mm. So this 14-inch original create your own stuffed crust pizza has officially been food hacked. Or has it? YouTube, I don't think we're done food hacking it. What else could you add to this motherfucker to make it that much more delicious? Okay, I got you. Oh my god, and of course, what would it be without some of these nacho cheese Doritos, YouTube? Frito-Lay action, not a sponsor. Like, of course he puts nacho cheese Doritos on top, like some kind of fucked up, overly sauced taco pizza. Grab a handful of Doritos and like Salt Bay that bitch on top. That's not enough Doritos on top, man. This is a fucking food hack. Just like a little bit on each piece, you know? You don't need a whole lot of Doritos to give it flavor. Oh, somebody stop me! This pizza looking good, YouTube. Food hack century, cuz. All the flavor from those sauces and our pizza toppings. Is this a Papa John's King Cobra special? Yes, it is. Oh, motherfucker, this shit look good, YouTube. This look like a stoner's fucking paradise right here. That's enough Dorito crumbs on our pizza. I got that Doritos disease. This can be contagious, Doritos disease. There are only a couple of known cures for it. One is to lick your hands, or use like a napkin or some water to wash your hands. Mm. You know, I gotta put these nacho trees Doritos up because this right here is your boy's favorite snacking crisp. Oh, nacho cheese Doritos, talk to me. Wash my goddamn hand off. Sometimes licking it off your fingers or using a napkin just ain't enough. You gotta get some water in there and really wash your hands. Now, Doritos disease comes in many forms. You got Cheetos disease, Doritos disease, pretty much any crisp or chip that comes with the delicious, salty, cheesy powder of your dreams right on top of it. And there's only a couple known cures for it: to lick your hands, wipe it off on a napkin, or use some water to wash it off. And now that the Cheetos Doritos disease is off of my fingertips, your boy Cobra can sit down and flex this super custom fucking delicious Papa John's pizza. Oh, look at that epic stuffed crust, customized to the max. And you know what? The weather's been really shitty lately, so I don't blame them for taking their sweet ass time on delivering it. And despite how cold it is outside, this pizza's still warm, cuz. Like, real talk, YouTube. Real talk. Oh, we about to get into this pizza, man. Before we get into that food review, I want to say a couple things. Oh shit! Get out of there! Got stuff in my satanic goatee. Get out of there! Get out of there! All right. Cheers. You fans are fucking awesome for what you do. I support transgendered people. However, there were a lot of people who were trying to ruin it for the trans individuals and the gays and what have you. And on top of that, you got these transgendered people who were just like, gender is a social concept and that gender does not exist. Okay, so I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just trying to figure out how it works. If gender does not exist, why the fuck do you tell everyone that you identify as the gender you transitioned into? If gender is an abstract concept and a social concept, if gender is fluid, then I don't gotta call you by your stupid pronouns because, according to you, that's just a social concept. But if I do not identify with these individuals by the gender they have assigned themselves, then I am now a bigot. So even if it doesn't make any sense, you have a straight ally with you, man, who's cisgendered. I'm not trying to be a dick. Believe me, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just trying to make sense of it. If you say gender does not exist, but then we're all supposed to call you a girl now because you got girl parts, that's why I'm like, okay, wait a second. You just got done saying that gender does not exist, and now we must identify you as this certain gender, otherwise we're a piece of shit. As long as you ain't a sicko, I don't give a fuck. I was very clear about this on Courtney's stream last night. I have no problems with trans people, especially Lil Mama. That's one of my fans, dude. Fuck off. But furthermore, it's just like, okay, if gender is an abstract concept and gender does not exist, then why are people assholes when you transition into a fucking female, and if people don't identify you as a female, they're intolerant? These are the same individuals who bullied Daphne into committing suicide. You know, Dave Chappelle's transgendered friend. The same assholes who bullied J.K. Rowling, and it's like, hey man, not trying to get political with Papa John's here, but hear me out. If you identify as a woman and you got some asshole who's raping women in Scotland and then identifying as trans at the last minute so they don't end up in a men's prison, they're totally abusing the system and abusing trans rights. And instead of being like, oh, you know what? J.K. Rowling's right. It's, oh, fuck her. She's a piece of shit, right? Fucking transphobic Harry Potter writing motherfucker. Fuck you. Now, if a kid got caught stealing candy from a prison and you wanted, or a candy store, you wouldn't throw, okay, I messed that up. Hold up. If a kid got caught stealing candy from a candy store, fuck sickos, and you threw him into a jail full of candy, he wouldn't learn his lesson. It's the truth. And that's kind of how I feel. Like, okay, if some asshole in Scotland rapes a bunch of women, and because society's being forced to be politically correct versus accepting it on their own terms, all that does is make it harder for trans people to find acceptance in society. And just because you got asshole sickos who are trying to ruin it for the movement and trans people who say a bunch of dumb shit that doesn't make any sense, you can't let it ruin it for everyone, dude. And that's why I said what I said on Courtney's stream before little mama hopped off. I'm like, hey man, I don't got a problem with you, Chica. I got a problem with the assholes who are ruining it for people like you. You're just trying to live your goddamn best life. Fabulous and brave. And you got some assholes. I've already been off on this topic, so don't get me started. But furthermore, revenge, hatred isn't going to make the problems go away. If you're pissed off because white, straight, cisgendered men have run and ruined everything, you're justifying your hatred, but acting out on it's only going to create more segregation. And when it comes to individuals who are black, female, LGBTQ+, etc., if it's all about equality, then hating us back isn't going to solve anything. We need to come together as a human race and be like, you know what? As long as you ain't a sicko, I don't give a shit. You know? Because there's a big fucking difference, and don't get me started. I'm not going to sit here and, like, beat a dead horse where it lays. You know what I'm saying? I'm stoked because I'm like, hey man, I got a little bit of beer, I got a pizza, I'm going to show it off on YouTube and fucking go off on my rant before I eat this delicious fucking food hack pizza. 14-inch stuffed crust, Alfredo, anchovies, pepperonis, onions, bacon, spinach, salami, extra cheese, 3-cheese blend. Let's go. Fucking 3 to 4 different sauces and a sprinkle of Doritos on top. And it just looks so disgustingly unhealthy. You're like, why would you eat that? Because it's a Cobra video. And because that's how I do my pizza, man. No, if I didn't care about Little Mama, I wouldn't fucking go off on my transgendered rants. And I will admit, I gotta work on saying the word faggot and dyke. I don't mean any disrespect by it. I really don't, because I'm cool with gay people and trans. However, they're not cool with me because I'm straight and cisgendered. And we live in a society where, okay, if you're straight, white, cisgendered, and male, and you get a little teeny tiny bit of microaggression, and people are just up in arms like, oh my God, we're not responsible for the assholes from the 1950s. I thank you. And like treating me like shit because you don't agree with my policies makes you no different than any homophobic asshole who says they hate you because you're gay and trans. Sorry, not sorry. Instead of focusing on assholes like me who tell it like it is, how about you focus on the assholes who are trying to ruin it for your movement? Assholes like Alan Walker. Did I say that out loud? Yes, I did. Fuck Jeffrey Epstein. I'm telling you right now, you can't let the fucking hatred and the bigoted bullshit and all the asshole gays and trans who ruin it for everyone else and all the sickos who are just like, oh, well, hey, you know, if two women want to get married, how come they can't fuck their dog? I'm like, because your dog cannot consent to sex, you fucking moron. Fuck the forbidden 6, 7, dude. You already know how I feel about this. Leave kids, babies, dead bodies, non-consenting adults, and your relatives the fuck alone. Like, that shit grosses me out more than being out of alcohol. I'm like, dude, there's a fucking big difference between you fucking your dog and then two lesbian women wanting to get married. If you want to scream about equality, don't even get me started. Where the fuck's my straight parade? And here's a news flash. I don't need a goddamn fucking parade with black and white flags to celebrate my heterosexuality. I'm mature enough and socially and culturally aware enough to be like, hey, you know what? Us straights have been dicks to everyone else, and that ain't right. But sitting here hating on me because I try to fight for true equality, not just because you want all the good parts, that's what it is. You people don't want equality to us straight, white, cisgendered males. You want all the good shit that goes with being those things. And I say, as long as you're not a sicko, give it to them so they shut the fuck up about it. Fuck racism, fuck sexism, and power to the people. I get so tired of this white power versus black power bullshit. It's bullshit, dude. Why can't we all, as long as you're not a sicko, why can't we all just get along and smoke a blunt, you know? Fucking chill out, be like, hey man, you're going through some shit, I'm going through some shit, fuck sickos, and let's fucking work on establishing world peace. But somehow I'm a homophobic, transphobic, alcoholic asshole for being like, hey, you know what? I support Little Mama, but not these assholes who are fucking ruining it for the trans community. And somehow that makes me a bigot. Hashtag gays against groomers. And you know, like, you know what? Cobra, you're not woke enough. And I'm like, fuck you. There's a big difference between being woke and being perverted. Like, I know you're all anxious to see me review this ridiculously customized, delicious Papa John's pizza. Not a sponsor. But I'm like, no, I'm going to say some things, man, and tell it like it is. And if you get some fucking politically incorrect asshole who just flat out hates gays and trans people, and then you see these assholes in the trans community and gay community who are trying to normalize sicko shit because it's not fair. I'm like, there's a big difference between being fair and being perverted. So society is truly not going to be equal on these situations, YouTube. So right now I'm sipping on some Bud Light Platinum, having one for the evening because it's after 5 o'clock. I'm cutting down on my drinking. But this is all I need. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to munch into some fucking seriously delicious stuffed crust pizza loaded with cheese and toppings. It's going to be fire. I already know it's going to be delicious. I'm not even going to taste it. I already know. These are all flavors that I like on my pizzas. You might think it's weird and gross, but that's your opinion. Meanwhile, it's like, okay, hashtag burn the map. And you know what pisses me off about society? How the fuck did we go from, you know what I'm saying, like Chris Hansen going, why don't you have a seat, to you got assholes on YouTube who are like, hey, you know, Hunter Avalone and shit, saying the crap he said about pedophilia. And it's just like, bro, you have a kid. That's fucking messed up. No. When I heard Hunter Avalone defending pedophilia, I was just like, you know what? I was disgusted, to say the least. Like, I watched Hunter Avallone for years, and it's like, I don't care if you're liberal and Sidney Watson's Republican. It's good to get perspectives on both sides to form an independent and actually intelligent argument. But when it comes to sickos, there is no intelligent argument. It's simply just this. Fuck sickos. I would trade all the delicious pizzas in the world to end sickos. And at some point, we have to draw the line as a society. It's like, okay, so this person over here identifies as a non-binary palm tree, who's also an alien and sparkly unicorn dragon, and by golly, those are their pronouns. And if you don't identify them by any of their pronouns, you're a bigot. Meanwhile, there were children who were dying of AIDS and starvation in third world countries, but you know your pronouns are more important, right? Fuck you. You want to scream about oppression? I'm like, okay, let me ask you this. There are people out there who are black, and black people have had to face a lot more oppression than some fucking asshole in a man bun drinking his overpriced Starbucks coffee. But by golly, that person has pronouns, and if you don't respect those pronouns, that's oppression. Kiss Martha Stewart's black ass, dude. It's like, okay, is it an abuse of privilege when white people are bitching about pronouns? I mean, these are conversations and questions nobody wants to have. If gender is an abstract concept, if gender is just fluid, you want to talk about fluid, this right here, this Bud Light Platinum, you see that? That's fluid. It's a liquid. When I think of the word fluid, it is a fancy word for liquids. So I'm like, okay, just because humans are 95% water doesn't mean gender is fluid. That's retarded. Sorry, not sorry. You can't sit there and say, okay, gender does not exist, guys. That's a social concept. But if you don't identify that person as a female, you're an asshole. I'm like, how the fuck does that work? I know this is going to piss off a lot of people, but quite frankly, I don't care. I'm not trying to piss off people. I'm just trying to form a logical conclusion and find simple answers to a very difficult bunch of questions. And I'm like, okay, you identify as trans, but can you answer me this? If gender does not exist, how come I'm being forced to identify you as a female because that's what you identify as? And all you can say is, well, because that's how they identify and that's the polite thing to do. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Well, it's kind of convenient because women totally do the same thing, man. You say one thing and then the exact opposite happens. So I guess, you know, hey, you're mastering that to a point. I'll give you props on that. But imagine being a woman for like the last 60 plus years and telling a society that, okay, tits and a vagina don't define women. And then you got these men who are transitioning into women, and you get these things, and all of a sudden you're forced to call them a woman, even though they have never gone through the struggles of being a real woman. And when they can't do that to prove their argument, they get pissed off. And there are some trans women who hate cisgendered women because you can't give birth to kids or have periods. And it's like, you know what? You're basically just like a female who can't ovulate or have periods or kids. So you don't get the full female experience, but people are still being forced to treat you a certain way. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to pander to these individuals as long as you ain't a sicko. Even if, hey, no one gives a shit because you're white, straight, cisgendered, and male. Everyone else can fucking suck a dick. It's like I'm still going to stand up for your rights, even though mine are slowly being taken away. That's called checking my privilege and being an ally. If you want to call me an asshole for saying it, well, fuck you. Because here's the final thing I'm going to say on this. As a white, straight, cisgendered male, I have nothing to complain about. I reek of privilege, especially with the fact that I have Asperger's on top of it. Remember, it's not okay to hit women unless you're a transgendered female and you've transitioned from a male. I know I'm being an ass for saying that, but hear me out. If there's some dickhead in Scotland who's raping women, you know, and if you identify as a woman, then that should be a woman's issue, period. That's just simple logic. You can argue with me all you want, but J.K. Rowling's right. Like J.K. Rowling gave us Dumbledore, who's super gay, but that's not enough representation. No. By golly, if Professor Snape would have been transgender, then they couldn't say shit, could they? Instead of always, it's always fabulous. I might be busting balls a little bit here, man, but hear me out, okay? I know several individuals who are gay, lesbian, trans, bisexual, whatever. And I got no problems with it as long as you ain't a sicko. I'm just trying to make logic of it. I hate sickos, and I get sick and tired of the asshole sickos who are hiding behind LGBTQ plus because they don't get to have a thing. And I get tired of all these assholes who fucking hate LGBTQ because they're simply ignorant and uneducated. And then, you know what? Being uneducated in this department, it's nothing new because I'm sitting here, even I'm confused. Because I'm like, okay, if gender does not exist, then how come you identify as a female? Okay, if gender does not exist, then how come I'm being forced to call you a female because that's the polite thing to do? Which, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to do it. Long as you ain't a sicko and you're not abusing trans rights, then I don't care. And the only reason I'm making this rant is because of little mama. I'll admit, I gotta work on saying the word faggot. But I'm 80% British. I'm using that in like the cigarette term, you know? I don't mean it as a homophobic slur or anything, but that's not how modern day culture is gonna take it. And I can admit that sometimes I drink too much and I need to cut down on that as well. But can my trolls admit that their obsession with me is more unhealthy than my drinking? And that society's full of shit? No, nobody can admit that because it's all about Cobra and his problems. And that's just it. Y'all love to sit here and fucking, you know, go off on Cobra and be like, he's a piece of shit, fuck him. And it's like some part of you is just like, you know, I relate to Cobra because I have my own personal problems. And instead of being like, hey, you know, Cobra's actually kind of right on this, it's, oh, no, you can't ask questions like that because that makes you some kind of phobe. So the title of this video is going to be called Pizza Food Hack and Rant because it was much needed. And now you got people who are becoming famous just because they're trans. They can have a total shitty personality and be an absolute miserable piece of shit, but that doesn't matter because, haha, they're special. I can remember when I was a kid and autism was first becoming a thing, people would tell me the same thing. Oh my God, you're autistic. You're so brave. And now that nobody gives a shit about autism anymore, it's all about being gay and trans. I'm like, hey, it's not about who's more special. It's about we all struggle with things, whether it's mental disabilities or like figuring out who you are as a person. You know, it's just life in a nutshell. And I'm like, if it's all about equality, you shouldn't get more privilege than me because you're not gay, straight, or like cisgendered or male, you know? And I'll acknowledge my privilege for what it is. I feel like a piece of shit. But do you think I fucking asked for this privilege? If I had my fucking way, I'd fucking go back in time and be like, hey man, and I'd be preaching the same shit I'd be preaching on my channel, cuz. Be like, as long as you ain't a sicko, who gives a fuck? You want to judge people? Judge them whether or not they're a sicko, and judge them based off their character. Anything else can fuck off, YouTube. That's honestly how I feel at this point. Like, you know, don't expect me to be like, hey, okay, if I see two gay dudes kissing at a restaurant, I'm going to be like, I don't want to see that, but hey, good for them. They're happy. Yeah. Don't expect me to be like, woo! Yeah, grab his ass. Suck his dick in front of everybody. If nobody tolerates it, we're all homophobes, right? Fuck yourself. And furthermore, it's like, okay, you can get grossed out by me because I'm straight, cisgendered, and heterosexual for of-age women, and apparently that's not woke enough. That's too fucking traditional. Fuck off, dude. I didn't ask for this privilege, and I sure as hell didn't ask for everyone else to get treated like crap. And now I'm being grouped in with everybody else just because I'm straight, white, cisgendered, and male. And I'm like, that's kind of bullshit. You want to sit here and be like, oh, I'm sick and tired of people judging trans and gays because of the stereotypes. Join the fucking club. I get judged because of my stereotypes. And I'm like, if we're going to end oppression, we got to end revenge hatred. Because that's what it is. It's not reverse anything. Because calling it reverse racism, then it wouldn't be racist. If you're playing Uno and you throw a reverse card, the card goes back to that person, and now it's like, oh, do you have any greens or a reverse card? Oh, you don't. Well, okay. So based off of that, and logic and reason, holy shit, that felt good to say. And it's a fucking touchy subject because women have had to fight oppression from men for like the last 600 plus years. But men who identify as women are also facing oppression. So it's one of those, this is a really touchy subject. And women, you know how it is to be a woman. It's gotta suck. The emotion, the estrogen. So when you got a man who's just like used to being a man and having testosterone, and all of a sudden it's like, flip the switch because everything you know in life is a lie. You have to accept that trans women are going through a journey. And I support it, as long as you ain't a sicko, you know? Even if I think it's a little bit weird and it's like, you know, people are like, hey, Cobra, have you heard of Blair White? First time I seen her, could have swore to God she was a real female or biological female. Let's not say real female because that might trigger some people. Fuck you. And people are like, no, dude, she's totally trans. I'm like, okay, if I was into that kind of crap, all right, man, but that's not my scene. And furthermore, keep doing your thing. Not trying to be a dick, but welcome to how competitive it is with women. There are women out there who are not the prettiest, and then there are women who just, oh my God, fucking reek sex appeal. Just, I've seen women that are so goddamn hot, even a gay man would know. It's like, hey. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, if you get treated a certain way because you're not one of the pretty trans women, this is exactly what you asked for. You wanted to be a woman? Welcome to being a woman. Women are rated on their looks just like men are. Society is shallow, hypocritical, and full of shit. But what do you do? What do you do, YouTube? Now, that pizza's gonna be good. I'm gonna have a fucking self-righteous fucking slice of that bitch. Be like, fuck you, I got custom made Papa John's and beer. It's a Monday and I'm providing the content. Like, Courtney was ending her stream, and the way Little Mama looked at me when she said, well, I don't like it when you say transgendered faggot. And I'm like, okay, it's nothing against you, sweetheart. It really isn't. It's against the assholes who are ruining it for good people like you. So yes, I will use slurs to insult the assholes who are ruining it. And you try to have a conversation about this, and all of a sudden it becomes an entire reflection of the entire community. But then on that same fucking note, the little cheat code they have, it's like, then they turn around and they're like, we're not all like that. I'm like, oh, we're not all like that. Well, how do you think I fucking feel when this stereotype, because I'm straight, white, cisgendered, and male, that automatically I'm some toxic male masculinist, rapist, sexist, piece of shit pig who drinks too much and needs to check his privilege? I'm like, hey man, I'm totally cool with women, LGBTQ, and other races and all that. Long as you ain't a sicko, I don't give a shit. And furthermore, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just trying to ask questions. The kind of questions that make people go, fucking Cobra. I've asked this question several times on my YouTube channel. I was like, hey man, long as you ain't a sicko, I'm cool with you. But how the fuck are you gonna sit there and identify as the opposite sex and try to act like you're better than everyone else? And like, oh, we're all just stupid assholes who need to fucking kiss your fake cunts. And it's like, oh, hey, if gender does not exist, then I don't have to acknowledge your pronouns. So that's just how it is. You don't get to sit there and say you have to acknowledge my pronouns and my gender because you transitioned into that gender, or then turn around on that same coin and be like, because I hate cisgendered people, gender is not a real concept, you guys. I'm like, you don't get to systematically oppress us like that and then fucking bitch because society systematically oppressed you for being trans. That's called hypocrisy, and it's a fucking bitch. If I can acknowledge that I drink too much and that I need to cut down on it, then can trans women acknowledge that you're never going to be a full woman? You're not going to be able to have periods or give birth to children? Can my trolls acknowledge they have an unhealthy obsession with me that's worse than my drinking? Of course not. No one's going to acknowledge that because, according to mainstream society, I'm an asshole for making this video. Whenever Cobra has a problem, it's, oh, you're a piece of shit and you have to change. When everyone else has a problem, it's like, nope, that's called being progressive and woke. And it's like, hey man, I don't give a fuck if you're trans. As long as you're not a sicko, I don't give a shit. I'll say it again. Leave children, babies, dead bodies, animals, relatives, and non-consenting adults the fuck alone. That's pretty straightforward. That's the Forbidden Six. You know, and I preached it on my channel to the point where I'm beating a dead horse at this point, and I'm sick of it. If being woke means I have to support, sickos, then I refuse to be woke. There's a big difference between being woke to the issues and being a nasty pervert. I would consider myself woke because I'm a rational thinking human being. It has nothing to do with my sexual orientation, gender, or any of that bullshit, or my skin tone for that matter. Because it's like, oh, hey, we're going to bitch because we're tired of being segregated by our skin tone, but then totally do the same thing to someone else because you're white and we hate you. Oh, yeah, fighting racism and sexism and oppression with more racism, sexism, and oppression. Revenge hatred, YouTube. Revenge hatred doesn't get us anywhere, cuz all it does is systematically oppress us even more. This is why I preach power to the people, because the power is in our hands as the people to change this. It makes society better than what it is. But you're so focused on who's got more privilege, who's more oppressed, and who's more offended. And don't you dare have an opinion because you might offend somebody. And like fucking the last 3 to 4 years, nothing has fucking changed. YouTube. I see it on TikTok and social media. People are sending me videos of random assholes who were just like, hey, all women want is assholes, so treat them like shits. And then you got women who are creating TikToks like, all men are just assholes. Here's how you break their hearts. And I'm fucking sick of it. I'm fucking sick of it. I'm over here like, okay, my 5-year dry spell, it could be worse. But people don't have to be this insufferably fake, hypocritical. People are just assholes to each other, dude. I said it. Okay, I want to take a fucking squizzle of this delicious Bud Light Platinum, not a sponsor, 21 and up, and be like, hey, people are fucking assholes to each other, and whenever we bitch about it, it's just like, oh, you're virtue signaling. You're just gaslighting. And it's like, you're preventing progression from changing for the better. You're oppressed by the same goddamn society. And at this point, you want equality? We got it. We're all oppressed for something, right? Even if the oppression that other individuals face is not as severe as, say, the individuals who really are oppressed, it's still oppression to a point. And if you want true equality, this is what it looks like. Man, you thought Papa John's saying the N-word was offensive. Man, that's still fucking warm too, man. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Team Pizza. Oh, okay. You already saw me fucking food hack. You already saw me food hack this pizza, cuz. Oh, YouTube. YouTube, this is going to feed me for the next couple of days. But your boy Cobra is going to have to grab a slice of this pizza. And I say self-righteous slice because that's how people fucking treat me. Like I'm some fucking asshole who doesn't give a shit. And I'm like, if I didn't give a shit, I wouldn't tell it like it is. I'd be like, you know what? Whites are getting oppressed and blacks and trans and gays and women have all the power. So fuck me for saying anything right. Fuck me for being like, hey man, not all whites are like that. You get sick and tired of the stereotypes that affect your individual ass. Oh, get it. I let it cool off so the cheese would, when you order extra cheese on a pizza and you go to grab a slice, all the cheese makes the toppings fall off. So even though I'm not going to get cheese pull on my stuffed crust because I let it cool off, I'm still going to get delicious pizza. Hold up. YouTube. Oh, 14-inch stuffed crust pizza, bacon, jalapenos, onions, anchovies, spinach, salami, extra cheese, 3 cheese blend with the anchovies and the jalapenos on a stuffed crust, smothered, dare I say smothered, and some of the tastiest goddamn, okay, everything that I put on this fucking pizza is fucking 10 out of 10, dude. Oh, this is stupid good. YouTube. Oh, Joshy's been a bad boy. Oh. The salami, the anchovies, the onions, the jalapenos, everything on this pizza. It's spicy with like a cheesy, flavorful bite. Oh my fucking god. I'm an asshole for going off on that rant, but someone had to say it. Meanwhile, this fucking pizza. Oh, YouTube. Oh, fuck me, that's good pizza. I paid like $40 for this pizza, man, which included tip. Casper weather is shit right now. We're having a typical, stereotypical Wyoming winter. And if I can afford it, I'm going to tip DoorDash and delivery and what have you a couple bucks because they're risking their life and their car to deliver goodness. Papa John's. Okay, at corporate Papa John's, this pizza slaps. I would have gotten cheese pull on my stuffed crust, but I let it cool off because I was going off on my rant, dude. Oh my fucking god, that's so good. Mm. Oh. Mm. Oh. Would I order this pizza again and recreate it the exact same way that I did right here? You bet your sweet ass I would. 14-inch stuffed crust, create your own pizza. Jalapeno, salami, anchovies, onions, bacon. Oh man, the sauces, anchovies. I named everything and repeated a couple of the ingredients a couple times, but it is what it is. This 14-inch pizza is so fucking good, dude. The nacho cheese Doritos are just adding a cheesy crunch to an already stupid cheesy pizza. I had to let it cool down because in my experience, it does not matter what fast food chain you go to. If you go to a fast food chain and order a shit ton of cheese and a bunch of meats, Then you go to pull a slice out of the box, all that shit just starts sliding off your slice, and you're like, no, get back on there. And it's like, I don't need that. I don't need that sliding off action when I'm trying to enjoy some fucking pie, god damn it. So it's like, yeah, hold up a second. I've not had pizza in a hot minute. The last time I had pizza was when I did that Pizza Hut food hack. One of the YouTube trolls sent me a bullshit pizza, trying to piss me off. Instead of getting mad, I turned it into content, man. And it's making the trolls go, what are we doing with our lives? Cobra's never once gone after where the fuck we live, but we're going after where the fuck he lives, trying as hard as we can, and all it does is get people on his side and get people feeling sorry for him. No, I ain't getting no cheese pull on this stuffed crust action, but I can definitely taste the cheese in that crust. Oh, trust and fucking believe. Everything that I did to this pizza is perfect. And I don't even care about the cheese pull for YouTube. I let the pizza cool off so I can grab a slice of it without everything falling off because of all the cheese that I added to it post-order. Oh, YouTube. Oh, YouTube. YouTube! Ugh. This fucking goddamn pizza is so fucking good, dude. Let's see if I can remember all the toppings. 14-inch stuffed crust pizza. We got the spinach, the onions, the jalapenos, the bacon, the salami, the onions, the 3-cheese blend, the extra cheese on a stuffed crust, original style crust. Smothered it in like spicy garlic butter, buffalo sauce, and some cheese sauce. Crunched a bunch of nacho cheese Doritos on top for extra fucking pop, dude. Okay, this is right here possibly the greatest goddamn Papa John's pizza I've ever had in my entire life. I am not shitting you right now. And then like a little cup of garlic butter to like even out the sauce a bit. If Papa John's put this on their fucking menu, this entire pizza the way I've customized it, I would order it every time. Okay, I would order it every time if I ordered Papa John's. Ugh, YouTube. I mainly fuck with Domino's because they donate to St. Jude's, and I'm all about that. You know what I'm saying? Because kids are more precious than rock and roll. Man, I'm all knocking shit off my desk. I don't give a shit right now, dude. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, it is what it is. I mainly fuck with Domino's because y'all donate to St. Jude's. And I respect that because it's like, hey, if I get a pie and I customize the fuck out of it, you know what I'm saying? I can donate like 50 cents to St. Jude's, and it makes me feel a little bit better about being a drunk stoner fucking fat ass ordering pizza. However, I will fuck with other pizza companies. I'm not partial to just Domino's. I like the Pizza Hut. I like the Papa John's. I'm a pizza fan in general. This is authentic pizza Unless you're in Chicago with the deep dish or New York with the fucking slice where it's like this fucking big. And it's just like, whoop, whoop. You gotta like sit there and fold it while you eat it, you know. So I know it's not authentic pizza. I know it's not like what you consider traditional. But it's like, you know what? That pizza was good. I had one slice of that and I was just like, oh. Okay, I'm giving this pizza food hack a 10 out of 10. The Papa John's who made this pizza needs to get a fucking raise because it's everything that I asked for. And then when I food hacked it on camera on top of it, it's just like, ooh, Cobra, you naughty bastard. But Happy New Year's, Cobra fam. I'm not trying to be a dick. Because I know you're all looking forward to, like, okay, he starts off the video with, like, oh, hey, look at this. I custom made you know what I'm saying? Papa John's is the only pizza restaurant that's fast food that offers the anchovies on top of the pizza. There are a couple of like restaurants that offer anchovies on their pizza here in town. But like as far as like fast food chains go, Papa John's is the only one that does it. I can remember ordering anchovies on my Pizza Hut pizza, and it was on a meat lovers with stuffed crust and extra cheese and extra bacon. And it was so tasty. You smother it with a couple cups of garlic butter and you're good to go. Oh, but like it's fast food pizza, so you get what you get and you get what you pay for. Honestly, in my opinion, I've tried authentic New York pizza. When I went to New York with my dad, we went to this little pizza joint that had like this buffalo barbecue chicken pizza. And the slices were your stereotypical New York fucking huge ass triangle. You gotta fold it to eat it. So good, dude. So fucking good. Okay, like, okay, hear me out. If you can't go to Chicago or New York City for a nice fucking slice of pie, you know, Papa John's and friends are the next best benefits. Whether it's Papa John's, Domino's, Pizza Hut, Little Caesars. I'm not that picky. I like all four, to be honest. And Godfather's Pizza, oh, don't even get me started. The closest Godfather's Pizza is in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and I tell you right now, their taco pizza is to die for. But it's like, okay. I like pizza. I like taco pizza. This is just me putting my own spin on things like I normally do. People want a food hack and a rant. I got you. And I would sacrifice all the delicious pizza in the world to make the world a better place. Like, there were so many problems with the world, and eventually people just stop caring because no one cares about you or what you have to say. People just take your words and be like, well, you're an asshole, and they twist it to their own political agenda. And it's just like, at some point, you're like, I'm done being a nice guy. That's when you gotta keep fighting and sticking to your guns and ignoring the haters, dude. That's what I'm saying. I had one slice of this delicious custom made Papa John's pizza. Oh my god, dude. My fucking taste buds just exploded with a flavorgasm. Because I topped the pizza with stuff that I like, you know? And it turned out delicious. It took a little bit longer to get here. I ordered it at like 8 o'clock, and they didn't get here till almost 10 o'clock. And that's understandable because the weather outside is complete shit. And that's another reason why I threw in a nice hefty tip because it's like you are busting your ass to deliver pizza in cold ass fucking weather, whether it's through DoorDash or through the pizza company kind of thing. So yeah, dude, I got mad respect for my delivery peoples, especially if you're delivering in this crap. Oh my god, I look outside and there's just snow everywhere, and I'm like, oh. Well, this is what happens when we have practically no snow all through December, and then it's like January pops in, and it's just like, oh, well, by the way, seems how December had no snow. We're going to give you a shit ton in January, and if you don't like it, well, welcome to Wyoming. Now, I sat here and rehearsed all the ingredients that I put on the pizza. The Alfredo sauce, nice touch. Honestly, no complaints with this pizza. I don't care if it took a couple of minutes to deliver. It was worth the wait. I food hacked that bitch. I was like, oh, I'm gonna put Doritos on this bitch and ain't nobody gonna stop me, motherfucker. And I don't care if I get cheese pull, we're gonna let this bitch cool down. In my experience, like I said, whenever I go to eat pizza with like a shit ton of cheese on it, it just falls off the crust. And I'm sitting here picking it out of the box and putting it back on the pizza. And it doesn't look good for YouTube when I'm throwing all these toppings on here and they just fall off. And you can't blame the fast food chain for that. You're the one that chose to order a shit ton of toppings, so this is what you get. So I'm like, all right, let's food hack the pizza, let it cool down, go off on my society rant like I normally do, and then come back with a fucking slice. And honestly, YouTube, 10 out of 10. This food hack from Papa John's has the Cobra seal of approval. 10 out of 10, dude. Papa John's corporate needs to give the Papa John's who made this a fucking raise. Now, here's the thing of it. I went to go order some Pizza Hut, but they didn't have the options on DoorDash to customize it. Excuse me. And I feel like kind of a dick because it's like, you know what I'm saying? There are delivery drivers who work on that. But regardless of who I order from on DoorDash, I give them a plug because you are contributing food to the King Cobra himself. Delicious treats for my tummies. Yummies for my tummies. That was the perfect amount of Doritos too, man. Just a nice little crunch, and then everything else. Okay, that pizza was spicy, but it wasn't over the top like the fucking food challenge that I want to do for YouTube and my Patreon. Because I did say on my Patreon that I was gonna bust into like the last two layers of the Death Nut Challenge. Because you saw me on YouTube, it's like, oh, Cobra only got to like level 3. What a pussy. And it's like, okay, you want levels 4 and 5, you're gonna have to subscribe to my Patreon. Oddly fitting because it's cold as fuck outside and that spicy food will keep me warm, dude. I'll be snacking on this pizza for like tomorrow and the next day. That's how it is. And I'm cool with that, man. Because I hate sickos more than I love delicious pizza. And this food hack that I done did is fucking delicious. How the fuck did this get to be an hour long? Because, like, I wasn't fixing to just be like, okay, here's the pizza, here's my rant, done. I didn't expect to make it like an hour long video where it's just like, oh my god, King Cobra, you're the worst. Now, if I would have eaten this pizza fresh on camera, we would have gotten cheese pull galore. As I did add extra cheese in a 3-cheese blend to the pizza. Plus, with the stuffed crust, cheese stuffed crust pizza, you know. Yeah, but I'm like, I've had a problem with eating pizza with like a shit ton of cheese. Like I said, the toppings just fall off. And it doesn't look good on camera. See how nice and neat that was? I pulled a slice out of my order and I'm just like, oh, YouTube. Oh, YouTube. Mm. I wasn't trying to offend anyone with my rant. Just simply asking questions. But we're not allowed to ask questions in society like, how is that racist? How is this racist? Educate me. And when you say crap like this, people literally throw you underneath the fucking double decker bus because you dare fucking question everything. And that's the problem with our society. You're not allowed to question things. There's a big difference between being a sicko and just simply questioning the norm of society. And if you can't see that difference, then you can unsubscribe from my fucking channel right now, you fucking miserable piece of shit.